Hey friends, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living. Welcome back to Vlogmas. And today is a very rainy day. We had a wonderful evening with my grandma and her boyfriend and a lovely dinner, most of which you saw, even though I forgot to film the ham. But you know how things get when you're cooking and cleaning and hosting and visiting and all the things. So I apparently neglected to film that, but it was delicious. But with all that, we did not have enough time to open our presents. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we just did with the boys. And Grandma is back here again, obviously, so that we could open our presents with her. And then we're just gonna spend the rest of the day hanging out and celebrating and visiting with her. And we also, yesterday was also very busy because in the morning, Mike finally harvested a deer, our first deer that we've harvested on our land. Such a blessing. But it just adds one more thing to our to-do list. So that is what we are going to be doing in just a moment. But first we have to move our pigs because they have been in the same spot for 2 weeks now because we were too tired last week to do it. And we can't put it off any longer because they're digging some big ruts. So we are about to move our pigs and then we are going to process our deer. So as you can see, they are in dire need of some new land. Yes, boys, I hear you. Oh, and they're such dirty, dirty piggies right now. And they know what we're about to do. So they're probably going to be very much of a pain in the butt. All right, so we left the water where it was. That's where they were. We decided to leave that house over there because all 500 pounds of pig squeezes into one IBC tote, even when we give them 2, and it's super adorable. But anyway, we have a new paddock for them, and all we have to do now is that back borderline has some really long grass, like the grass you see back there. So we gotta just weed whack that line and we will be good. But as you can see, they're already loving it. What you got in there, Beans? So the moving of the pigs went really well. Neither Mike or I actually fell on our butts like we were expecting to because of all the mud that's out there. So that portion of our day is done, and now we're going to start processing this deer. All right, so don't mind our working shed, but here's the deer, and it is a little guy, but we are still happy to have it. It is a little button buck, probably this year's buck maybe, but not even big enough to record as a buck. So we're gonna skin them and part them out. Well, it was another busy but super successful day here today at the homestead. We did get the deer processed completely. Well, completely. As in, we got all the meat off of the bones. I now have all of the bones in this roaster making bone broth. I have the back straps here, and I medallion them up into 2 separate meals. And then this is all the rest of the meat that we plan on grinding. We did also pull out the tenderloins, but it was such a small deer. It was like a 50-pound deer. So the tenderloins were like only little medallions themselves. Didn't even weigh a pound with both of them. So we do have those though. And then we did tonight have tacos that I did grind up 2 pounds of this meat and added into our taco meat, and that is pretty much the way that we usually enjoy our venison, is mixed half and half with beef and ground venison to make tacos or nachos. But then the rest of this, so with the meat that we ate tonight, it's about 21 pounds of ground meat. Now this meat is not yet ground, we just cut it up because we don't have fat currently to add to the venison, and venison's such a lean meat, you usually want to add fat to your ground. Now for tonight's dinner, we did not have fat to mix into our grind, but we did cook it with beef, and there was enough fat in the beef to lend to the venison, and it was delicious. So the plan for the rest of this meat is I'm going to freeze it, and then when we butcher Beans next week, we're going to get a lot of fat from him, and we'll then grind this with the pork fat to incorporate it into all the meat. And then we will use this either just to have ground venison, and then we'll, package like 2-pound packages of ground venison, or 1 or 2 pound packages of ground venison. Or I'm also going to be making meat sticks. Our oldest, Hunter, when we said that Mike had gotten a deer, he goes, "Oh, so we get meat sticks?" So I'm going to be definitely making a couple of different meat sticks. And then I also want to try making some bratwurst. So I don't have a ton of meat to play around with this deer. So I might not get to the bratwurst because we really like the ground venison and the meat sticks. So we know that those are both really big winners, and hopefully we'll get another deer and we can kind of use that a little bit more to have fun with, making some fun things like a smoked sausage or something like that. But all in all, we have about 25 pounds of meat and all of the bone broth that we're about to get in the roaster. So not a huge deer, but still a blessing, and we're super excited to have it. Super excited that Mike was able to get his first deer on our property. We have been here for a little over a year, so this is definitely an exciting day for us, and getting to harvest one of our own deer on our own land is super exciting. So it has been a very busy day. This was not on the plan for today, but we got this blessing, so that's what the day turned into, and we are very happy to have it. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.